Welcome back to the Bison East Gymnasium. We have a packed house here. The fans are still coming in. Public address announcer Scott Martin trying to get everybody settled down and seated. We're ready for some great basketball. Lori, let's take a look at how these two teams got to the provincial final.
Well, as you get a look on your screen, what we have, of course, #1 ranked John Taylor Pipers. They put away the number four ranked Murdoch McKay Klansmen, 89-71, and the Mennonite Brethren Hawks. What we had was a situation where they upset the Dakota Lancers 82-78 in overtime. They were down 19 at the half and came back, Sean, on the arm of Richard Van Dorp as he fired for 36 points to win in the overtime. And you're going to get a lot of big support here for the Mennonite Brethren Hawks. A sea of red.
We had a great girls final. We saw everything we could possibly see. But guess what, folks? We're not done yet. It's time for the boys. Let's go down to Scott Martin, who has the player introductions.
Welcome to this 4A Provincial Basketball Championship featuring the John Taylor Pipers and the Mennonite Brethren Hawks. Mennonite Brethren are KCAC Conference champs with an overall record of 19 wins and 10 losses. The John Taylor Pipers are St. James Conference finalists. They captured first place in all 4 tournaments they played in this season. And now let's meet the non-starters. For the visitors on the scoreboard, the MBCI Hawks. Wearing number 3, Chris Radke. Number 14, John Bowe. Number 23, Nick Davis. Number 32, Evan Weeb. And number 33, Malcolm McNeil. And now let's meet the non-starters for the home team on the scoreboard, the John Taylor Pipers. Number 12, J.C. Siwicki. Number 14, Greg Robinson. Number 20, Mike Kusi. Number 21, Tom Hamady. Number 23, Brad Arsenault. Number 31, Chris Bazunas. And number 33, Adam Burns. And now let's meet the starters for the MBCI Hawks. Wearing number 4, Michael Pasteur. Number 11, Ryan Visser. Wearing number 12, Herb Weeb. Wearing number 15, the high flyer, Richard Van Dorp. And number 24, Andrew Fast. And now the starting lineup for the home team, John Taylor Pipers. Wearing number 22, Trevor Deneen. Number 24, point guard, Brad Unger. Number 25, Big Jeff Sinclair. Wearing number 32, Rod Couture. And number 34, the friendly giant Dale McCockey. Coach for MBCI, Mr. Ken Apolko. Coaches for John Taylor, Mr. Grim Fraser, Mr. James Ford, and Mr. Alan Friesen. Referees for this evening's game, Mr. Phil Sam, Mr. Dan Kinnischuk, and Mr. Mike Bevan.
Lori, public address announcer Scott Martin has to learn to get into it a little bit more, don't you think?
I think so. What we need is as you said, announcer Martin into it a little bit more, and maybe we need the crowd into it a little bit more. I don't think there's enough excitement in here.
Well, I'll tell you something. We're going to pump it up because we're ready. The boys have taken to the court. We've got a packed house here at the Bison East Gymnasium. Phil Sam, the referee, will start this game off with a jump. McGahee up against Van Dorp. It's the Provincial 4A boys high school basketball final. Ball slapped around. Unger comes up with it. Lori, one of the things Coach Apolko told us before the game was if Unger's going to pass the ball, he isn't going to get it back. They're going to try and deny him the ball. and play some tough D and make him come to the basket just like he did there.
Well, definitely, we look at a situation, Sean, where you're looking at a true point guard. Brad Unger can do it all. He's definitely the floor general out there. And if we're the Hawks, what we've got to do is we've got to change things up. As we see, they started out man-to-man. Now on the inbounds, they're in a 2-3 zone.
Shot by Couture goes off the plate. It's rebounded by McGahee. He's fouled. And it looks like the foul's going to go against Andrew Fast.
McGahee and Sinclair down low for the Pipers. What we're going to have to do if we're the Hawks, we're a little bit smaller, we're going to have to block out and block out hard.
No score, but at the line, Dale McGahee, we saw him play last week. And we also saw the other big man, Jeff Sinclair, who had a fantastic game in the regional playdowns.
One of the things that was so impressive in that playdown, Sean, was just the all-around play of the Pipers, both inside and outside. They had great job was done on the perimeter, and then inside you had McGahee and Sinclair just controlled the boards completely.
Fast with the ball, gets it right side. Van Dorp can't get it, it's stolen by Couture. Unger running the show. Setter for the provincial volleyball team that won the provincial championships, I should say, for John Taylor. Couture, another member of that team, he hits the shot. 4-0 is the score for the Pipers.
Well, it was Couture that came up big in the regional playoff, and he's just starting right where he left off, Sean. He was definitely player of the game there. He gets a good look and drains the easy two.
Good movement, pressure defense by the Pipers. Forcing ball movement by the Hawks. There's the shot by Fast. It goes. 3-point basket, Andrew Fast. It's a good one here at the Bison East Gymnasium.
Well, get ready for a high-scoring affair, Sean. As far as the Hawks are concerned, they like to light it up, and so does Brad Unger.
He drains it. 6-3's the score in favor of the Pipers. Fast, the point guard, bounces it into the corner. Visser across to Van Dorp. He can light it up. Shot goes short. Rebounded strongly by Pasteur. Kicks it back out. Visser commits the travel. Pipers get the ball.
That's just good pressure right there by Jeff Sinclair that time to cause the turnover.
Unger directing traffic, trying to get it to McGahee. McGahee guarded closely by Pasteur. There's the shot by Deneen from the outside. Ball's bouncing around. Couture comes up with it, but then loses it to Visser. Van Dorp, speedy and dangerous all over the court. Takes it from the baseline, doesn't go. Rebounded by McGahee.
That's a good look by Richard.
Unger working off the screen set by Sinclair. Kicks it out to Couture. Looking for Sinclair down low, almost stolen. The wide open McGahee gets as easy as 2 points. He'll ever score.
That's a great job, first of all, by Sinclair to keep that ball alive. And then McGahee goes up strong, puts it away.
Visser in trouble, gets it out to Fast. Fast goes between the legs, driving in, looking for the penetration. He shoots it from the junction, doesn't go. Rebound on the play, strongly taken by Rod Couture. Back comes Unger, weaving his way through the Hawks defense. Penetrates the key, takes it to the rack, but doesn't stick it. McGahee's second effort doesn't go. Nice board by Michael Pasteur.
Lots of end-to-end action here, Sean. Here comes Van Dorp again.
He takes it from the free throw line. Nothing but style. Richard Van Dorp. Couture at the other end, fast and furious. He goes off the glass and hits it. 10-5's the score, and strap it on, folks. We're in for a wild one here at the Bison East.
As I said, Sean, we're going to light it up. There's no doubt about it. We've got the crowd is hot, and they are into it. The building is heated up. The action's heated up. We just finished with a great girls final, and we're just going to continue on here.
Quick pass to Van Dorp. Jump step in traffic, doesn't finish. There's Visser across to Fast. Three-pointer goes! Second three of the night for Andrew Fast.
Get a good look at Andrew there on your screen. He is pumped.
Deneen, ball fake. Gets it down low. Nice move by McGahee. And he's felled from behind by Andrew Fast. That'll be Fast's second, I believe. And right away, the three-point shooter could be in foul trouble.
Coach Opalco is changing it up every time they come down the floor. We're going to have a look here. Ball goes inside. Van Dorp gets beat there. Oh, Sinclair just too much on the offensive glass, Sean.
Sinclair plays very well on the weak side. He gets a ton of rebounds, and he got a basket off of one right there. 12-8's the score in favor of the Pipers. Fast. Still in the game with 2 fouls. Van Dorp from three-point territory. Victory lapping out. Rebounded by Couture.
Well, with that active zone that John Taylor is playing, Mennonites got to know that they're not going to get too many second shot opportunities, so they've got to put them down.
Unger to the hole, and he finishes. 14-8's the score for the Pipers.
Penetration by Brad Unger, and we're dead if we're Mennonite.
Fast, nice move to get by Unger. Gets the ball back, three-point territory, he puts it up quick. Nice follow by Van Dorp, but it's taken by Couture. He's got 4 boards already.
Excellent defensive rebounding by Couture.
He's not afraid to shoot the 3 either, as is Deneen. In and out, rebound, who's got it? It's MBCI, they kick it out to Van Dorp. Quickly, Richard comes down the court. Dish into the corner, 3-point shot by Fast. Rebounded by Sinclair. And again, weak side boards by Jeff.
Well, as we mentioned, Sean, if we're Mennonite Brethren Hawks, we're only going to get 1 look at the basket. They're getting some good looks, and they're not afraid to put the ball up.
Couture to Deneen. Down low to McGaughey. Turn around, takes the easy 6-footer. It's down.
That's what's really going to hurt Mennonite Brethren when they go man-to-man, Sean. All they do is isolate either McGaughey or Sinclair, and they really hurt them inside.
Almost a turnover, nicely saved by Van Dorp. Ball goes out of bounds. MBCI will maintain possession.
Brad Unger, constant motion.
Get a look at some of the worrisome parents in the crowd. Watching a great game here at 16-8 for the Pipers. 4:08 to go in the first. Shot by Van Dorp from the corner, doesn't go. Rebound, ball's on the floor. Sinclair comes up with it.
Brad Unger once again controlling the show for the Pipers.
Couture drives in, loses control of the ball. Pasteur comes up with it, gets it quickly ahead to Visser. MBCI has to pull up. Going down low, Pasteur baseline. Doesn't go, but he's fouled.
Oh, that's going to go on Couture. Good look that time by Visser. Excellent skip pass. Got Couture with his head turned.
Let's get a look at that play that you just described, Laurie. That's putting MBCI at the line.
There's the skip pass, taken up strong by Pasteur.
And of course, that's Michael, not Louis, at the line. But I tell you, he's condensed talent all into one. Misses the second.
Got a chance to evaporate a little bit more of that lead.
Oh, we are milking it for all it's worth here. The Bison East Gymnasium, we've got a good one, 16-9 for John Taylor.
That's one of our major sponsors here at the MHSAA is Milk Producers, and there's McGaughey for another easy 2 underneath.
Big sponsors of the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association. They've been involved with them for years. And they're one of the reasons why you see this great action here at the Provincial Championships. Fast. Moves the ball around. It's Weeb with the shot. It goes down. Nice basket by Herb Weeb. Couture working right side, takes the 12-footer off the back of the plate. Rebounded by MCI. Ball goes to Van Dorp. Van Dorp working in, double team. And we have the foul going against Trevor Deneen. Let's get a look at that last Piper basket, Laurie.
Once again, good look by Sinclair. What happens, as we mentioned, that when we have Mennonite Brethren Hawks, they go man-to-man, automatically we've got a look in by the perimeter people on the John Taylor Pipers.
Van Dorp, nice balance in the air. He shoots the ball so smoothly.
Excellent release on Richard. Very, very quick, very, very smooth.
Couture, right wing, looking for the pass. He dumps it into McGaughey. McGaughey on the turnaround off the rim. There's Sinclair, rebound. Ball doesn't go in. McGaughey. And MBCI has to do some blocking out, or else the Pipers are going to kill him on the offensive boards.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, the Twin Towers, McGaughey and Sinclair, are going to have a field day down there, Sean.
Fast, playing this game with 2 fouls. Gets it to Weeb. Shot by Herb, doesn't go. But Couture picks up his 2nd foul.
Well, what happened? We got Coach Friesen. He's upset with Rod. He's talking to him now. What's happened is he's given up the baseline twice, and that's resulted in the problem. And there he goes. He picks up his second foul, and we can't afford to have Rob Couture in early foul trouble for the John Taylor Pipers.
He played a great game last weekend. Very solid performance for the Pipers. And he's just so steady out there. Another one of the members of the Provincial Volleyball Champions. Weeb hits the second, 6-point lead for the Pipers. Hawks coming back into it.
Well, when you've got a team like Mennonite Brethren and they're coached with someone with the experience of Ken Opalko, they're never ever really out of it, Sean. They can strike so quickly. We saw how quickly the River East Kodiaks could strike in that girls final, while the same thing is true of the Hawks. I think we're going to have either a travel, yes, because referee Sam calls a travel ball there on Sinclair inside.
Let's follow up on that earlier thought, Laurie. Often teams are a reflection of their coach. Opalko was a long-distance shooter, the highest scorer in CIU history, and that's before a three-point line. This team is very much like that. Fast can hit it, Van Dorp can hit it. These guys can put it in from anywhere around the court. And there we see Weeb with the shot, and it falls. Well, it's a classic case.
With Coach Opalko, just as you said, I mean, it would have been scary had there been a three-point line, Sean. I think that Coach Opalko would have just simply backed up even further. Good dish by Unger once again. Penetration, drops it to McCaughey for the easy two. But as you said, a reflection of the coach. We see a team here that just loves to shoot, Sean. Don't have to play defense all that much, but they love to shoot.
What is defense tonight? We haven't seen it. It's been all offense here. Just a reminder, you're watching the Provincial 4A Basketball Championships on video on Cable 11 Sports. Sean Coates, Laurie May, and Bob Baker for the Bison East Gymnasium. 6-point lead for the Pipers, looking to extend it. Couture, air ball, rare one for him. Sinclair, shot doesn't go, but McGaughey's second rebound opportunity puts it away.
Well, as you mentioned, Sean, if we're the Hawks, we've got to start blocking out somehow. That means we've got to get some position. We just got to work a little bit harder.
Third three-point basket of the night for Andrew Fast. He's pumped up.
The bottom line is we can still go on and say that they've got to play a little bit tougher D. I know we'd like to see that, but at the same time, down at that offensive end, they are deadly.
Sinclair hits the basket, and he's fouled. I think it may go against Michael Pasteur.
Well, what happened there is Pasteur got caught behind Jeff, and you know that right away you're in trouble. It's a good entry pass, and he just turns and puts the ball up nice and soft. We're going to get a replay here. You watch the situation. Right now, we're in trouble already. That's Deneen looking inside to Sinclair. Nice little turnaround jumper. He's fouled. Going to go to the line to complete the three-point play, Sean.
Doesn't fall for him. MBCI gets a defensive rebound, and Van Dorp's got the ball.
As you mentioned, Sean, that's what Mennonite Brethren they've got to do a little bit more of. They've got to just work a little bit harder at that defensive glass.
Herb Weeb. Shot doesn't go, rebounded by Deneen. Gets it ahead to Couture. His team's up by 7. Just 10 seconds left in the quarter. Couture with a runner, doesn't go. Rebounded by Van Dorp. He's got 7 seconds. Watch this guy go. He can light it up. Van Dorp trying to work some magic. 2 on the clock. He's trapped in the corner. Great defense by the Pipers. Last second attempt doesn't go.
Well, he had a situation there. Richard came out of the pack, as you mentioned, Sean. However, I don't think he was quite aware of how much time was left on the clock. And here we are with one quarter of this provincial final under our belt. The John Taylor Pipers lead the Mennonite Brethren Hawks 26-19.
Great look at the MBCI fans here. Let's listen to Alan Friesen as he talks to his Piper team.
Can't get stuck behind, okay? No more doubling in the corner. Get out to the corner if you can. Then Trevor will sag in here. The ball comes back here, you can step to the shooter. You can take away the high post, understand? Okay? Dale, you take away the low post, right? Jeff, if the rod's not there, you'll have to go to the corner here. Okay?
This pass right here is.
The high post is open. You get the ball there, shoot the ball. Shoot the ball from there. That's a good shot. And then hit the boards. Okay?
Keep it up, guys.
Keep going. Where to go?
Just jump over.
Hey, take a few of their offensive boards away.
Well, we've got a situation here, Sean, where we've got both coaches. We've got Coach Friesen wants to stop that penetration on that baseline, take that corner shot away, and with Coach Opalko, he's ready for that, and his counter to that, of course, is that high post area. A lot of noise here. The place is jumping. It's full, Sean.
Great game going on right now. We're in the second quarter. It's just started. Nice move by Herb Weeb underneath to avoid the defense.
That's a great pump fake by Herb Weeb. Puts Couture up and over.
Coming right back is Unger. There's going to be a foul called. We'll see who it goes against. It might be Ryan Visser.
I think you're right, Sean. I think this one's going to go on Visser.
Yes, indeed, it does go against him. That's team foul number 4, I believe. Yes, it is number 4 against MBCI. 26-21 is the score for JT.
Well, Sean, you get a situation where Unger is just so darn quick. And it's not that Visser, Van Dorp are fast or slow. It's just that Unger is so darn quick.
Sinclair taking the ball to the boards, and he's fouled from behind. Sinclair's going to go to the line. Foul goes against Michael Pasteur. That's his second.
Well, what's happening with Sinclair very early in this game, Sean, he's got some real good looks at the hoop. He's doing a real number inside, and he's just gaining in confidence. He wants the ball.
Sinclair misses the first, and the MBCI fans erupt. Jeff, a grade 12 player. This Piper team, almost all grade 12s. They were in the provincial final here last year, and it's an interesting story. They lost both the volleyball and basketball finals last year, came back here. They won the volleyball. They'd like to take the sweep here, but MBCI's got something to say about that, as does Richard Van Dorp, who misses that shot, but McGaughey comes up with the boards.
Richard Van Dorp with the excellent offensive rebound, puts it up quickly back on the glass. Unfortunately for the Hawks, it doesn't fall, and here come the Hawks inside to McGaughey.
Deneen across to Couture. Ball fake, drives baseline, puts it off his leg, gets it back out to Unger. Nice move on the drive, goes up, in and out, rebounded by McGaughey. He's just cherry picking out there.
Well, you get a good look at McGaughey there on your screen. McGaughey and Sinclair, they're just ruling the paint at either end of the court right now.
8-point Piper lead, 8:45 to go in the half. Bounce pass, and a traveling violation called against Herb Weed.
Well, Herb was looking there. That was the high post area that Coach Palko had talked about. It was open, but he second-guessed himself. Saw Richard Van Dorp at the three-point arc out of the corner of his eye. A little indecision resulted in a travel ball.
Unger's shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Pasteur. Gets it to Van Dorp. Good matchup now. Van Dorp on Unger. Fast into the corner. Ball goes up quickly. Three-point basket. Ryan Visser.
It's a good job once again by the Hawks. Excellent ball movement. What they're going to have to do if we're John Taylor is we're going to have to extend that zone, and that's exactly what Coach Apalco wants.
Ball saved by Couture. He drives baseline, goes up, reverse, gets it to Sinclair. Ball's on the floor, goes off the hands. MBCI comes up with it.
Well, right now it's Michael Pasteur that's answered the challenge, and he's starting to do a good job defensively.
Van Dorp to Visser, fast now, left side. Visser swings it across to Van Dorp. He drives on Deneen, goes up. If he gets one step, he's clear. It's hard to stop him.
Well, that's the key, Sean. That one step, that's all that Richard needs. He squares up to the hole so well, but here's Unger coming back trying to answer, and there's Van Dorp with the defensive board, and here come the Hawks.
Van Dorp pull-up jumper from 12 or 13 feet. He nails it.
Well, we mentioned that they can get on a roll, and here they are with 7 minutes left in the first half, Sean. They're only down 1.
29-28's the score. Pipers lead it. Deneen gets it to Unger. Back out to Deneen. Three-pointer. He's not afraid to shoot it. Rebounded by the Hawks. Finally, the MBCI Hawks are doing a job on their defensive boards, Laurie.
Well, that's, as I said, that's Pasteur's doing an excellent job. Visser's trying to help in as well, and Weave has come up with a couple. What we've got right now is this is starting to, in terms of flow, go the Hawks' way. What they want to do is they want to get the Pipers involved in a sandlot game. They want to play a little bit of street ball here, and what the Pipers are going to have to do, they got to play team ball.
On the jump ball called, the alternating possession goes to John Taylor. They lead it by 1 with 6:50 to go in the first half.
See a situation there where McGaughey, Dale got himself in a little bit of trouble. Great defensive board, but he brought the ball down, Sean. Big guys, you got to keep the ball up there.
Deneen's three-pointer doesn't go.
Oh, it looks like this is going to go against Sinclair.
Offensive foul. Jeff Sinclair for a push, I believe, underneath. And if I'm not mistaken, that might be Jeff's. No, it's only his first. I thought it might have been his second.
Well, that's an excellent job by Visser getting in there. As we said before, what we've got to do is we've got to block out. We might not come down with the board, but physically we got to put a body in there.
Fast. Across to Weeb. Swings it to Visser. Oh, And he faked everybody out, including his own player, who he hit off the back of the head with the ball.
Well, what happened was Michael was getting ready to go to the offensive glass.
Deneen to Couture. He'll take the three. It's up and in and out. Rebounded by Van Dorp. Goes by Unger. Van Dorp streaking coast to coast. And down Richard Van Dorp with a basket. MBCI lead it 30-29, Laurie. Sorry.
Well, just as you said, Sean, that's it. That's the first lead for the Hawks. We talked about how quickly they can turn things around, and Coach Friesen has seen enough as the Hawks go on about a 11-4 run, and they right now with just under 6 minutes left here in the first half, Sean, they lead by 1.
The Hawks fans are going crazy on the south side of the gymnasium as we see some of their supporters.
That's Captain Hawk.
That's Captain Hawk. Let's see if we can listen to Alan's comments here.
Just believe in yourself and let's play. Defensively, we have to talk. We're setting screens on the inside, so you can't jump outside. You got to call for help. You got to talk. You got to get to the shooters in the corner. You got to rotate with the ball. Okay? Let's forward. Forward hard. Hey, inside. Keep fighting for position. Grab. You can take them. You burn them inside. You keep going inside. Okay? Guys, ready to play? Okay, let's go.
An excellent timeout by Coach Friesen. All he wants to do, he wants to settle his team down. It's just as I said, as far as Coach Opalko is concerned, he'd love for this to turn into a street ball. He would simply love it. He'll take his 3 players, take them against any 3. Coach Friesen picks up on that. Let's calm down, let's play as a team, and let's go. We've got one coach that wants a team concept, another one who wants street ball. Right now, street ball's winning.
They're up by 1. 11-3 run in this quarter for the Hawks. Couture. Back out to Unger. Unger on the drive. He goes up. Off the back of the plate. Doesn't go. Easy rebound. McGaughey.
Coach Opalko up on the bench. He's looking for an over the back.
Doesn't get the call, and he's visibly upset. He's still complaining right now, even though his team has the ball.
We just don't know who he's complaining to.
I'm not sure if anyone's listening to him either, but Van Dorp goes left side to Visser, who loses it to Sinclair, the big man. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and losing the ball. Ball hits the deck. It's still on the floor. Unger diving. Everyone going after it. It's on the floor. Bodies hitting the deck everywhere. This is hustle basketball personified.
Oh, if we can get a look at this, Sean. This time referee. Oh, we're going to have a look here. This is Jeff Sinclair pushing the ball, the big guy pushing the ball. Right at the end of this, Jeff is going to get on top of this, and I got to go with Coach Opalko. He's jawing at referee Sam. We're going to see, like, we got to call this right there.
6 different players touch the ball. Everybody hitting the deck. It's a 1-point lead for the Pipers with 4:45 to go. From the corner, Visser off the rim, doesn't go. Couture with the rebound. 31-30 is the score. Just a reminder, you're watching Video on Cable 11 Sports coverage of the Provincial 4A Basketball Championships. So we return to action. Couture puts up the shot. Doesn't go. It's rebounded by the Hawks. Van Dorp hits the deck. Couture comes up with the ball. Couture with an easy basket, but we have an illegal block called, I believe, against Dale McGaughey.
This is an excellent call by referee Sam. We had Richard Van Dorp coming out of the pack with the ball after that great defensive rebound. Excellent ball check by Richard Couture to take the ball the other way. He goes hard to the hole. Dale McGaughey, unfortunately, he just ends up with a moving screen, gets called on the block. Good job by referee Sam.
Fast, trying to avoid Unger. Gets the ball in the corner. Good double team by the Pipers. That's what they wanted, the double team in the corner. But Jeff Sinclair is going to be called for his second foul, and he's in total disbelief.
He's going to get called with that one. Coach Friesen, he agrees with referee Kinnischuk on that call. He reached in there. We're going to get a replay here. There's your foul right there.
Right on the reach.
See the positioning there on the replay of referee Kinnischuk. We talked about the merits of the three-man system. There's an excellent example.
Unger working against Weeb. Ball goes out of bounds. Pipers will maintain possession. And Unger's looking for a foul. And like we saw in the girls' game, the referees are really, for the most part, letting the boys play.
They're doing an excellent job. The refereeing in the first game, as you mentioned, Sean, they let the girls play. The same situation here. I really like the three-man system, and it would be very interesting if we could see more of it.
Weeb with the block. He's going coast to coast, and he goes layup and down. 3-point lead for the Hawks. The Hawks fans erupt here at the Bison East Gymnasium. But the Pipers have the ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Correction on the score. It's 32-31 Hawks. They lead it by 1. 3:20 to go in the first half.
Right now we've got, as I mentioned, Michael Pasteur is doing yeoman's duty right now for the Hawks in the paint.
Going up strong is Kachu, but he's ridden off the play by Pasteur. Nice follow-up basket by the Pipers.
Once again, offensive rebound by Sinclair. He puts it away. We're looking at a 33-32 score, a 1-point lead for the Pipers.
Van Dorp's three is blocked by Kachu. Pasteur gets it back to Van Dorp, double team. Gets it to a wide open Andrew Fast. 3 up, 3 down, Andrew Fast.
After Andrew lets that shot go, he starts to walk away, Sean. He's confident that that puppy's going home.
Unger takes it to the rack and puts it down off the glass. We're tied at 35.
That's a great answer by Brad Unger as he takes the ball to the hole, once again penetrating the Mennonite Brethren Hawk defense.
Fast working against Unger, the 2-2-4s going at it. 3-point attempt doesn't go, rebounded by the Hawks. They kick it back out to Fast. Unger with a steal. He keeps it in play going down 1-on-2 in traffic, and he's fouled by Ryan Visser.
What we had, Sean, we had a situation where the Mennonite Brethren Hawks enjoyed one of their few offensive rebounds. However, they got a little bit sloppy with the ball. We're going to have a look here, and here's Mr. Constant Motion right now. And Coach Friesen had told him earlier, if you can take it to the hole, Brad, you take it, and he did there, and Visser had to foul. That's Visser's second.
Unger at the line, misses the first. It's 35 all with 2:17 to go. A rare miss by Brad at the free throw line.
Well, it's amazing, Sean, any misfortune that befalls the Pipers. That south part of the Bison East grandstand just simply erupts in that sea of red.
And Unger missed both. We're still tied with 2:10 to go in the half. Fast, putting on a dribbling clinic. Look away pass goes off the hands and out of bounds. Pipers come up with it. Unger quickly coming right back for John Taylor. Kachu drives in. He'll go up, 8-footer. Doesn't fall. Easy rebound. McGahee doesn't go for him. And the Hawks get the defensive boards.
Well, Mennonite Brethren Hawks got away lucky there, unscathed. Dale McGahee just simply unmolested there as he got the offensive glass and he was just unable to put it away.
Van Dorp to Fast. Andrew Fast working against Unger. Ball's passed in down low. Pasteur in trouble, kicks it back out. Visser, Fast, Van Dorp, good ball movement by the Hawks. Van Dorp, long distance three, doesn't take it. Now he goes up, and it's down. Oh my, Richard Van Dorp has the touch.
Well, Richard Van Dorp, we're looking at radar there. I'll tell you, we had a double with Unger and Deneen all over Van Dorp, and he hit that one. Sinclair tries to answer, and Fast with a rebound, and here come the Hawks.
Less than a minute to go, 3-point lead for MBCI. It's 38-35. Van Dorp, three, territory drives in, kicks it out. Fast, he'll go up with the three. Rebounded by Sinclair. Unger now coming back for the Pipers. They'd like to cut this lead, if not tie it by the half. Unger coast to coast, doesn't go. Big board, Jeff Sinclair, and he easily finishes it.
Once again, penetration by Brad Unger. Anytime that Brad Unger is able to penetrate the Hawk defense, it's always going to mean good things for the Pipers.
Fast across to Weeb. Van Dorp, baseline, takes 2 steps, goes up, and it's down. Richard Van Dorp, unbelievable shooter.
On fire again.
40-37 to score, 6 seconds to go in the half. Unger has to put it up. 3, 2, 1. Unger cans it at the buzzer. The score after 20 minutes of play. The MBCI Hawks 40, The John Taylor Pipers, 39.
Well, Sean, as we mentioned, we said that everyone was heated up here. The referees were ready to go. As we can see on the screen, the fans are ready to go. And we've seen an exhibition here now. We've just had a great first half that followed a great final. And we're in for, I think, another big finish here, Sean.
1 point lead for the Hawks at the half. We're going to have a look at the fans in attendance here, but don't go away, folks. In just a few moments, we're going to have second half action here on Video on Cable 11 Sports. We'll be right back.
Montana's in the starting line right now.
Hi, we're just watching We Cook, You Smile, and we have the whole family sits and watches it, and we love it. We'd like to pass that on.
If you have any questions or comments about the programming on Video on Cable 11, please call our viewer response line at 287-4567.
Welcome back to more exciting action. Standing with me right now is Kerry Lasuk, the Assistant Executive Director of the Manitoba High School Athletic Association. That's quite a long title. How do you like the action happening today?
This is tremendous action. This is what high school sports is all about. We haven't had a crowd like this in a long time. We've had a lot of exciting games. The basketball caliber in the high school level at all categories is getting better and better every year. It's so exciting. It's got to be here to believe it.
This fan support is tremendous. You have a sea of red out there. You have another sea of green on the other side. It's just terrific.
You got to like the John Taylor fans. You got to like the Mennonite Brethren fans. This place holds around 1,600. I don't know if you can fit many more people in it, but this is great. This is what it's all about.
So on a venue like this, what happens? How long in planning does it take?
Well, this has been booked for over a year now. We've been working on it since last September. We have 10 other sports, but this is one of the bigger ones. It takes a lot of time. A tremendous amount of volunteers, like Darren Klapik you interviewed earlier, who's a tremendous supporter and one of the main guys behind this, as well as like Oak Park High School, Shaftesbury High School, Silver Heights, a lot of people involved, and I'm just happy to be a part of it more than anything.
That's great. Congratulations on a tremendous event. Let's get back up to Sean and Lori.
Thank you very much, Bob. You know those titles they give people like Kerry Lasuk, eh? You know, it's like the bigger the title, the less they do, it seems, you know?
Well, the bottom line is what Kerry related to in terms of high school athletics. Anyone that questions it, whether you be a school board trustee, an administrator, a parent, this is where you want the energies put. There's no doubt about it. It's an excellent, wonderful event. The St. James Conference has taken on convening and hosting this particular event. We've got Murray Brown and Darren Klapik, Randy Cassano out of Oak Park, people from John Taylor, as well as Shaftesbury, and with Kerry Lasuk, as he mentioned, rural boy, he's never seen so many people in one building. He's just glad to be somewhere.
He's never seen so many people in a town, I think. But they do a great job, and hats off to them. Just a fantastic tournament they run here, as well as the volleyball, the track and field, the fastball. They do a great job, and hats off to them. As we start the second half action, Deneen hits the first basket, reestablishing the John Taylor lead. They're up by 1. Weeb turns it over, and Unger's got the ball.
Well, that turnover, I think that Trevor Deneen got away with one there. No foul called, and what happens is John Taylor's coming back. What we can do is we can get up to a 3-point lead here as Coutu tries to put it away, but it's Magahi with the offensive rebound, and he puts it down and puts the Pipers up 3.
43-40, just a minute into the third quarter. Andrew Fast, across to Weeb. Visser with the three-pointer. Everybody shoots on this team, Lori, and I think Canapulco's one of those rare coaches, instead of giving guys the green light, everybody's got the green light. He just puts up the red occasionally.
The bottom line is you don't shoot, you don't play. I guess it's very simple.
Then coming back the other side, Deneen doesn't fall for him. Kachu, great hustle, but he doesn't get much support.
Once again, if we're the Hawks, we got to make sure down at the defensive end and the offensive end, if we get a rebound, don't waste it away. Visser, unfortunately, lets that get away from him, and Sinclair comes up with a big steal, steps up into the lane.
43-all is the score. Early third quarter here at the Bison East Gymnasium. Just a reminder, you're watching Video on Cable 11 sports coverage of the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association Provincial 4A Basketball Championships. McGahee misses off the easy inbound. Pasteur with the ball. He loses it. Kachu goes up, pumps in traffic, and he's fouled. Kachu will go to the line.
Well, what we have is the very easy inbound, as you mentioned, Sean, to McGahee. He didn't put that away. And, oh, we got some boos coming out because Michael Pasteur, as far as the Mennonite Brethren Hawks fans are concerned, was fouled long before he lost the basketball.
Rod Kachu hits the first. And he hits the second, 2-point lead for the Pipers.
You get a look, Sean, at the Piper fans, as was mentioned by Bob Baker there at halftime. See a red on one side, see a green and gold on the other, and people are into this.
And Fast hits the deck and drops the ball out of bounds, and he looks like he's hurt, he's limping, and that could really be detrimental to the Hawks' cause. Unger puts it up from the junction, in and out, doesn't go. Who's got the ball? Traveling call against John Taylor. The Hawks come up with it. Ball's advanced quickly down to Visser. Kicks it back out. Hawks will maintain possession.
Well, we got a situation here. Coach Opalko wants Fast off the floor.
Coming into play is Malcolm McNeil, the grade 11 guard. He's played very well for them this season, and he comes in to replace Fast, who's going to get a bit of a breather, and he's going to get looked at. He got knocked down on the ground. I think he's going to come right back in, though. It looks like he's fine. Van Dorp in traffic, goes up against 3 people. And let's get a look at what happened to Andrew there. I think Coach Opalko wanted a foul called in this play. We just see the end of it, and you can see Andrew in a lot of pain.
Andrew twisted his ankle, went down. It looked like he was going to try and turn, keep the ball away from Unger. But that whole idea, it's amazing how quickly those injuries can heal, Sean, if it's going to cut into your playing time.
Well, you know what? I was always healthy on offense, but I was sore on defense. I couldn't get back and play. The Hawks fans cheering Van Dorp on. He hits them both. We're tied at 45. Great action here at the Bison East Gymnasium. Pipers with the ball. Kachu working on McNeil. Deneen, top of the key to Kachu. He drives on McNeil. Goes in base, off the window and down. Nice basket by Rod.
Well, that's an excellent job by Kachu. McNeil, a little bit shorter, of course, than Fast. What he does is take McNeil hard to the baseline and lays it up off the window for an easy 2.
Andrew Fast with the ball. Bounce pass to Richard Van Dorp. Kicks it across, goes to McNeil. He takes it, the lefty goes up and off the glass. He meant to do that.
The bottom line is you get a good look there. He's going to take that. Malcolm's going to take whatever. He got a good look at the hoop. It went in. That's all he's worried about.
Swat on the play by Ryan Visser, who just rejects Brad Unger. We're tied at 47. We're in the third quarter. McNeil almost turns it over. Van Dorp comes up with it. Free throw line, kicks it out to Fast. Fast over to Van Dorp. He drives, goes in traffic. Rebound taken nicely by Pasteur on the follow. Hawks by 2.
Well, that's one of the first offensive rebounds that the Hawks have enjoyed. And Pasteur takes that up strong in the land of the Giants and puts it away, Sean.
6:20 to go. Third quarter, 2-point lead for the Hawks. Unger driving in. He'll take it from the junction. He's blocked again. But the foul will go against Visser. And Canapulco's up off the bench He can't believe it.
We're going to get a look here. We're going to get a look, first of all, off the miss. We're going to see a great job by Pasteur getting inside, and up he goes, and he puts that away. Now, I don't know about that block. That looked like a very clean block by Ryan Visser. I don't know where the body contact was there.
They called the body, but to be honest with you, I didn't see it. But it doesn't matter because Unger's at the line. He hits the first. If he hits this one, it'll tie it at 49. Checking back into play, number 12, Herb Wiebe.
He's going to be taking Ryan Visser out. That's Ryan's third. 16 minutes left in his game, Sean. That was huge.
Unger looking to tie this game up. Shot goes up the front of the rim, rebounded by Pasteur, who's doing a good job on the glass, trying to keep the Hawks in this one.
Well, Michael, as you mentioned, Sean is doing a good job. He's working hard at both the offensive and defensive end. He's been doing an exceptional job defensively, trying to keep Sinclair and McCaughey off the glass. And we saw him earlier when he came up with that offensive one.
McNeil's shot goes off the back of the rim, rebounded by the Pipers. Unger goes lob past Kachu down low. He goes off the glass, doesn't fall for him. McCaughey with a rebound. Pipers by 1.
There we're just talking height, Sean. I mean, what we have is we have the big height advantage, Kachu over McIver. They dump that in, that doesn't work, and McCaughey with his height sweeps the offensive glass.
Fast basket doesn't go, but Pasteur with the offensive rebound. No foul called, and we have an injured player. It's Herb Wiebe behind the play. Count the basket for Rod Kachu, and he's fouled. And the refs are going to have to do something to check out Herb Wiebe, who's hurt. He's limping off the court. We finally have a medical official on the court to take a look at him. Fans are booing. I'm surprised there wasn't a foul at this end against John Taylor when Pasteur went up.
Well, we had a situation where we've just talked about Michael, Sean. He comes up. We're gonna have a look here and see how Herb Wiebe went down.
And this is also where we thought the potential foul occurred.
Wiebe just gets tangled up with Deneen, it looks like there.
Deneen hit the free throw. It's a 4-point lead for John Taylor. Fast into McNeil in the corner. Ball goes off of John Taylor and off the structure. MBCI gets the ball. 5:09 to go in the third. 4-point lead for the Pipers. McNeil, ball faking and bounce passing to Van Dorp. Turnaround, Jay doesn't go. Pasteur can't control it. Kachu with the rebound.
Well, it's a good look at the hoop that time by Van Dorp. Right there on the foul line, just didn't fall for the Hawks.
Unger right side, skips the pass across. Wide open to Deneen from 3. Rebound, balls everywhere. Kachu comes up with it and hits it. 6-point lead for the Pipers.
Once again, we've got a situation, just too much Piper on that offensive glass, and they've both out to a 6-point lead with 4:39 left here in the third quarter. Once again, you get a look at your screen. The Mennonite Brethren Hawks down 6 to the John Taylor Pipers here on Videon Cable 11.
Timeout called on the play. Let's listen in to Ken Apolko.
What we got to do is defensively, let's go to a 23. Okay, we're going to stall for some time. That's what we're going for now. Okay? A couple of minutes, and then we'll go back to man. We've got to stall for some time. Offensively, take it at these people. Take it at them. Come down right down the middle here. Just stop and pop the 3. Man, top out. Sag right in. Pop and pop. Right, always look for man first and block. Focus on the prize, buddy, and let's go. Come on, Trevor. Let's go.
Everybody getting into it here at the Bison East Gymnasium.
Well, we had Bob Baker talk about that sea of red, folks, and you're getting a good look at it here.
The MBCI fans, garbage lids and all, creating some noise.
Province of Manitoba's version of March Madness here, the 1996 4A Provincial Championships here at Bison East.
Fast with the ball. Gets it to Evan Wiebe, who's in the game now. Pasteur goes up, and he's fouled, and it's going to be Rod Kachu called from behind.
Well, this time we have a situation where Pasteur, we're going to get a look here at the replay. Pasteur just great positioning here. offensively, here he goes. And we've got, just as you mentioned, we've got the reach in by Deneen there. McGahee went straight up, and that foul is going to go on, on Couture, and that is his third.
Michael Pasteur, the grade 11 post player, at the line, hits a 4-point lead now for the Pipers. Hawks coming back, 4:25 to go in the third. Unger running the show for the Pipers, goes to Couture. Back to Unger, three-pointer, up and down, Brad Unger.
Well, we had Coach Opalko change that defense from man to a 2-3 zone, but the answer for the Pipers for the 2-3 zone, of course, is Brad Unger. You give him a little look, and he's going to drain that three.
Van Dorp kicks out to Fast. He'll take the three, and he'll hit the three. Andrew Fast, like the old supersonic downtown Fred Brown, he's playing deep before the ball hits the hole.
Well, he's definitely confident. I'll tell you, you give him a look at that hole, and he's going to nail it.
4-point lead still for the Pipers, 58-54. Deneen trying to get in the act. No, he goes to Couture. To Unger. He jacks the tray. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Pasteur.
Well, there we had a situation where the 2-3 zone worked a little bit better for Coach Opalko, although Unger had a good look at the hoop. A nice board once again by Pasteur.
Van Dorp trying to get in the act now. Misses the 10-footer. Rebounded by the Pipers. Here comes Unger. His team's got a 4-point lead. 3:15 to go. Unger dish to Couture. Drives base. Circus move doesn't go. Rebounded by Sinclair. Ball off the glass. And Brad Unger's going to be called for a foul when he reached for the loose ball, Laurie.
Well, what we had there is you had McGahee and Sinclair once again just dominating the glass. But it's Van Dorp that comes away from the ball with the ball. Brad Unger reaches in and gets called for the foul.
Nice bit of sportsmanship by Richard Van Dorp talking to Brad Unger there, kind of sympathizing with him. Andrew Fast trying to work off the screen. He penetrates. He goes up. Nice little 8-footer, and Andrew is pumped.
That's great penetration by Andrew Fast. He takes it right up against McGahee and puts it down.
Hawks only trail by 2 now. Couture puts up the ball off the front of the rim. Nice big board by McGahee. Ball movement to Deneen. Three-pointer doesn't go.
Oh, that's going to go against Sinclair over the back.
Sinclair with a body contact from behind, as you mentioned.
Evan Weeb with great position there defensively. Jeff goes through him, and that's going to go against Sinclair.
Sinclair's third with 2:35 to go in the third. Fast running the show, directing Evan across the side of the court. Doesn't use the screen, gets the ball to Evan Weeb. Weeb kicks it across to McNeil. Back to Weeb. Hawks killing some time, which is what they wanted to do. Going up strong is Michael Pasteur, and he's fouled.
Well, if we can get a look at this, Sean, the most amazing thing is the one-handed catch by Pasteur.
Hawks fans erupt because of this play. There you'll see the pass down low. Nice one-handed catch, as you mentioned, Laurie. And then he's fouled by McGahee. That's his third. Piper's getting into some foul trouble.
Well, if the Twin Towers here getting some foul trouble, John Taylor's in big trouble, I'll tell you, Sean.
Let's see if we can listen into one of the timeouts.
24. 24. You've got 24. He passes the ball all the time. He goes to the bathroom, you go with him. He goes for a drink of water, you hold the handle for him. Okay? In other words, stick to him like glue. Okay? Never sag off. He doesn't get the ball back. All right? And the other 4 guys were just playing box.
Let's push this thing as hard as we can, okay?
Play.
Let's go. Let's go.
Play.
3, 2, 1, nice. Let's go.
Well, we talked about that active zone that the John Taylor Pipers play. We've had man-to-man from Mennonite Brethren. Then they went to the 2-3 zone to try and work a little bit on the clock and rest a little bit defensively. Now we've got Coach Opalko doing a great job, changing it up again, and you're going to see a box and 1 for the rest of this quarter against Brad Unger.
Do you think Ken was clear enough in terms of that defensive assignment he gave his player?
I think he definitely wants to get across to the player the fact that Brad Unger, when he gives up the ball, doesn't get it back.
Pasteur misses the first. His team's down by 2. He can cut the lead to 1. Great end zone shot by our cameraman. So we see Pasteur miss the second. Sinclair comes up with a rebound. Couture coming back. Behind the back runner. Doesn't go. Couture putting on a little NBA move.
Well, the one thing about both Unger and Couture, if they just have just a smidgen of daylight, Sean, they're going to take the ball to the hole every time. They're not going to pull up. They're not going to dish it. They're taking it to the hole. They want to score. They've got confidence in themselves. They believe they can score and or go to the foul line. That's why we've got Richard Couture on the foul line, shooting 2.
Rod hits the first. Pipers fans going crazy on this side. 3-point lead for JT. And Couture misses the second. Pasteur with another board. Evan Weave gets it to Fast. Fast to McNeil, back to Fast. Looking for Van Dorp in the paint. He goes up. Easy basket. Richard Van Dorp.
Well, it's a good job by Richards that he snuck into the paint. McCaughey's got to lay off him with the 3 fouls, but here comes Couture, back hard.
Couture doing a great job on the glass. 2 boards, goes up the 3rd time.
That foul's going to go against Van Dorp.
I think they initially signaled Pasteur. Yes, it is Pasteur that gets a foul, and I thought it was Van Dorp who had made the contact.
We're going to get a look here on the replay.
No, it is Pasteur on the arm. No,
there's
actually,
number 15 right there in the center of your screen. Van Dorp couldn't be. We look at the situation. Pasteur couldn't have been any further away.
And that's going to hurt MBCI because that's Pasteur's 4th. And he's been doing the job on the boards. He has to come out. Back in is Ryan Visser.
Oh, that really hurts the Hawks. That foul should have gone on Van Dorp.
We'll see how the Hawks respond to this situation. But again, at the line is Rod Couture. Reestablishes a 2-point lead for the Pipers. Fast against Unger, the 224s. That's a great matchup. Van Dorp comes in. 15-footer doesn't go, but a nice follow isn't made by Visser. Ball goes out of bounds to the Pipers. Visser with a good rebound, but he just couldn't finish, Laurie.
As you said, Ryan couldn't put it away, but McCaughey with the partial block on Van Dorp's shot was the thing that made it. Oh, and here we got Deneen going to the hole.
Deneen saw the lane, and he took full advantage of it. 4-point lead again for the Pipers. 1 minute to go, 3rd quarter. 3-point attempt, Evan Weave off the glass. He'll tell people, oh yeah, I meant to do that.
Evan just simply turned to the crowd and said, they all count. Coach Al Friesen, he just threw up his arms. There's not much you can do. And that's a great charge taken by Malcolm McNeil, I should say.
Malcolm stood in there and took it. Unger with the foul.
44 seconds left here, Sean, in the 3rd quarter. We've got the Hawks going to come down with a chance to take the lead here.
62-61 for the Pipers. Hawks with the ball, Fast.
Think they'll hold for 1, Sean?
I don't think so. I think they'll hold for 4 here. Fast 3-point territory, quick pass into Van Dorp. He's quickly guarded, but he makes the turnaround. He's blocked by McCaughey. Chance for the Pipers now.
That's McCaughey's 2nd block on Van Dorp. Here comes Couture hard. I think he's going to get called foul. No, it's going to be a foul before, and I guess it's going to go on Andrew Fast.
Foul before the shot called. No basket on the play. 20 seconds to go in the 3rd. Here we see Couture in the drive, and there's the bump before the shot.
No, that's just going to go against Malcolm McNeil.
That's his 1st.
Once again, Couture, as both Couture and Deneen, and of course Unger. Holy macro, do they like to take it to the hole? And there's that easy inbound play. Just throw that ball up in the air and tell Dale McCaughey, go get it.
10 seconds to go. Fast with a 3-pointer. He puts it up. Doesn't go, rebounded by McCaughey. To get it to Unger. 5 seconds. Can he get the shot off? 3, 2, 1. And it goes over the backboard. Field goal for Brad Unger. But this is basketball.
Well, here we go, Sean. 64-61. 3-point lead for the Pipers. We've got 1 quarter left. I'm hoping here that we're not going to go into overtime. Again, we've just had tremendous action here. You get a look at the fans here. They haven't missed a beat, both on the Mennonite Brethren side and the John Taylor side, and they're whooping it up. You can hear it for yourself.
I don't think we could take overtime, but we'll go overtime to this man, Bob Baker, who's waiting at courtside.
Thanks a lot, John. Standing with me is Kevin Chief, the Westman player. He used to play with the Tech Hawk Hornets. You guys took this tournament back in '91, and you were also the MVP. You're only the MVP out of the tournament that was a starter and a grade 10 level.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting year because we had a lot of trouble during the year with players and stuff. And then what happened was we only had 9 players. We came in and we upset Kelowna East in the first round, who had originally beat us 2 weeks before that, probably by about 20. So it was really good. And then we beat Massey in the final. It was a good game. So
it was a good year all around. We're seeing a lot of three-point shots going down. That used to be your forte.
Yeah, that's basically what I did in high school, and I've tried to develop more skills in university. I think I've done that. I think I'm a little bit better off the dribble now and stuff too.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Back up to Sean and Sean and Lori.
Thank you very much, Bob Baker. And you know, Lori, I think Kevin Chief is still great at the three-point baskets. He hits them all the time for the Westmen.
Well, in terms of Kevin Chief, he's got to have one of the quickest releases of any player that we've seen come out of high school basketball in this province.
You're seeing the future stars of the university level here today at the high school level on video on Cable 11 Sports. Fast shot doesn't go. Kachu with the rebound. Unger over to Kachu. Kachu goes up. No, he passes it to Sinclair. Easy basket underneath for Jeff.
That was an excellent job by Richard. Changed his mind up in the air, aligned himself, dropped it into Sinclair, and as you said, Sean, an easy kiss off the glass.
Evan Weeb drains the tray.
Evan Weeb was just wanting to let you know, Sean, that he can do it. Now, you might have wondered about that first tray of his. That one, of course, no glass there, nothing but mesh.
Deneen drives into the paint and hits the jumper. Trevor looking smooth with that shot.
Well, we talked about the fact that the Twin Towers for John Taylor getting in a little bit of foul trouble, and all the perimeter players do is just simply pick up their game.
4-point lead for the Hawks. Or I should say for the Pipers. Hawks with the ball. Van Dorp, NBA three doesn't go. Rebounded by Weeb. Weeb in traffic, goes up against 3 people, and he hits it. And the whole John Taylor bench off their feet looking for a travel.
I don't know, we got the Supremes down there, or Smokey Robinson, or what a beautiful choreographed move there by all 3 coaches.
Deneen can't control it, it goes out of bounds. Hawks have it, they're down by 2. Andrew Fast running the show. Like to get the ball in the hands of Van Dorp if he can. Works off the screen. Bounce pass to Evan Weeb in the corner. Evan in a bit of trouble. He kicks it across. Good ball movement by the Hawks. Visser bounce pass. Kicks back out to Van Dorp. Nice little ball move. He goes up on the baseline. Doesn't go. Rebound. Who's got it? It's Brad Unger.
Brad Unger, ball hawk, I'll tell you.
Kachu, easy drive, easy basket. Rod looking good for the Pipers.
We've got a situation here with Unger and Kachu. They just take the ball to the hole so well for the Pipers.
Van Dorp shot doesn't go. Sinclair with the rebound. 4-point lead for the Pipers. Unger's starting to slow things down a little bit.
Well, this is about as slow as we've seen things since the get-go, Sean.
Deneen dumps it down to McGahee. McGahee makes the move. Ball hits the ground. Shot goes short. Huge board by Ryan Visser.
A box in one played by the Mennonite Brethren Hawks.
Fast driving down. Contact made, no call. Weeb kicks it across to McNeil in the corner. Visser! Shot doesn't go. Van Dorp with a rebound. Guarded by 4 people. Good ball movement by the Hawks. Evan Weeb, 3-point attempt off the front of the rim. Kicks back out. Brad Unger breakaway layup. Fast coming after him. Unger doesn't go, but Fast will be called on the foul.
Well, we got a good example there, Sean, of what can happen if you don't make that three-pointer. That long offensive rebound, and you know you're going to be in trouble, especially with someone as quick as Brad Unger.
Unger at the line. Let's get a look at that last play. Here he comes.
Great hustle by Andrew Fast to try and get back there.
7 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the 4th. Unger misses the first. His team leads it by 4. And I know he'd like to extend it a bit further. Makes it a 5-point lead. for the Pipers. Back come the Hawks. Van Dorp to Fast. Over to Van Dorp. Drives in, puts up the shot. Doesn't fall for him. Unger with another board.
Richard's been hitting the front of the iron now the last 4 or 5 times down. Starting to get a little bit tired, I think, Sean.
Deneen from three-point land doesn't go. Rebounded by Evan Weeb. Coming down the court, bounce pass to McNeil. It's ahead of him, but he makes a nice drive. Van Dorp on the good follow, and Deneen comes up with a board.
Very unfortunate for the Hawks not to come away with 2.
Unger to Kachu. Back to Unger. Kachu right side.
Right now, this is where Malcolm McIver has to make sure that Brad Unger doesn't get the ball back.
Drive on the play by Kachu doesn't go. Sinclair with the rebound, and he's fouled, I should say. It may be Richard Van Dorp with the foul.
Well, in that box and one that Coach Opalco is playing, what they're trying to do is isolate Unger, which they've done fairly well. But with the 4-on-4 situation, we have a look here. Malcolm McIver doing his job, but it's Kachu right now that is really hurting the Mennonite Brethren Hawks as he's taking the ball to the hole really hard. And with 5:59 left back in the game, I don't think that the Coach Opalco can wait any longer. He's going to have to put Michael Pasteur back in this game with 4.
And Ryan Visser, who picked up that foul, that's his 4th. So I think you're right. He's going to have to come on the court. Let's see if we can listen in to one of the timeouts here.
Get our hands, and then 5-man rebound defensively. Offensively, Brian and Trevor get back on the floor, no layups, okay? Clock, play your heart out for the last 5 minutes, boys. Let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, pass. This is it, boys.
Well, Sean, once again, you get a look at Captain Canuck and his crew.
Captain Hawk, I think. Looks like Captain Canuck over there.
Okay, it's not that much. 5 points, so what?
That's an understatement by Coach Opalco with this team.
Sinclair at the line, 5:59 to go. It's a 5-point lead for the Pipers.
Get a look there on your screen, folks, just as Sean said, 71-66. The lead enjoyed by the John Taylor Pipers here in the 4A Provincial Boys Basketball Championship Final. Just under 6 minutes left here, being brought to you by Videon Cable 11 Sports.
Get a look at the rough, rugged customer under the boards, Jeff Sinclair. He hits the first, extending the lead to 6.
Dale McCaughey and Jeff Sinclair have just done an excellent job for the Pipers down low. And just as we mentioned, Sean, at the beginning of the telecast, the whole total game package. Oh, and we've got Deneen answers. He gets it. Oh, and here's McCaughey. He's going to score, and he's fouled.
And he's fouled, as you mentioned. Huge play for the Pipers. Their fans are ecstatic.
This McCaughey's going to go to the line, and he's going to get a chance here to put Pipers up with the biggest lead thus far in the game.
Coach Opalco, as you saw on your screen, shaking his head. His team down by 8. And we have an offensive board by the Pipers, but it comes off a lane violation.
Well, they're going to call Richard Van Dorp in too early.
So a second chance for Dale here at the free throw line. Ball hits the floor, and Van Dorp comes up with it.
That's Richard Kachu almost coming away with an offensive board for the Pipers.
Van Dorp drives down, goes up with a shot. Hawks want the foul. It isn't called. Unger with the ball.
Van Dorp coming up short again. Van Dorp is cold. He's about 0 for 7 now.
Unger with the 3-point basket. It's an 11-point lead, and Ken Opalco calls his timeout.
Well, Sean, we had Coach Friesen say we got to play hard for another 6 minutes, boys, and this is ours. Well, they've definitely responded to the challenge put out by their coach, and they've outscored the Hawks 6-0 here on this run, and they enjoy an 11-point lead.
We get a look at Ken Opalco's daughters.
Are they intense?
Just a little. Fans making all kinds of noise here at the Bison East Gymnasium. We had We've had a great crowd here for both games, and this is what it's all about, the hardware. It'll be given out after the game. Let's get a look at the big three-pointer by Brad Unger.
Great, once again, defensive board by McCaughey. Here comes Unger. We've got to make sure if we're the Hawks, we got to get out there quicker. As you can see, they don't bother Brad at all. He walks up to that three-point line and nails it. And I'm sure that one of those kilts must have been yours out in Victoria, Sean.
Real men wear kilts, Laurie.
Looks like some Victoria tartan there.
As we return to action, ball goes to Fast. Almost stolen by Unger. Great pressure D by the Pipers.
Andrew's got to move the ball, Sean. It's not time, as you mentioned once already in the broadcast, it's not time for a dribbling clinic. That you put on at halftime. Here we got to move the ball. We got to get the ball in the hole.
Ball's bounced to Visser. They go across. Van Dorp. Shot doesn't go, and again he's short with a shot attempt.
Well, right now Richards got to have missed his last 10 shots. They're just short. He's just simply got to put a little bit more leg into it, get it up over that front rim.
And you're right, it could be a fatigue factor, not getting enough leg into it. Unger at the top. His team enjoys an 11-point lead with 4:45 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Mennonite Brethren Hawks, Sean, have had to go to man-to-man, look to get that ball inside now. Down low to Sinclair and McCaughey.
JT content to kill some time. Unger right side. Works off the screen set by Kachu. Drives in, dishes off to Sinclair, and there you called it, Laurie. Easy basket underneath for the Pipers.
It's a good job by the Pipers. Excellent screen by Richard Kachu, used by Unger. Penetration, dumps it in easy, and Sinclair just kisses it off the glass.
Fast is fouled.
Oh, it's going to be interesting here now, Sean. Was he fouled outside the three-point line?
Foul goes against Trevor Deneen. We'll see how many shots Andrew Fast will take.
Referee Sam has signaled a bonus here.
Fast hits the first.
This is good for Mennonite Brethren. Get to score with the clock stopped.
Hawks trying to make a substitution. Finally, they allow Malcolm McNeil to come in, and it was, I don't know why they had such a delay getting him in. It's, I guess we'll never have that question answered. Fast hits both. Lead back to 11 for the Pipers.
Nice stroke that time by Fast, puts them away.
Unger directing traffic. He'll go in uncontested. It's rebounded by Sinclair, and he's fouled on the play. And we'll see who this goes against, because if it's against Pasteur, he may be done for the evening. No, it goes against Van Dorp.
Van Dorp that time, but right now it's just too much Jeff Sinclair. We're going to get a look here on the screen. Penetration by Unger. Misses it, but there's Sinclair to mop things up.
Van Dorp's first. Sinclair hits the first free throw. It's 80-68 for the Pipers.
The Hawks are in trouble right now, Sean. They've got to stay man-to-man, and that just unleashes Jeff Sinclair underneath. They're unable to stop the penetration of Brad Unger.
Under 4 minutes to go. Hawks for the ball. They put up the three. Doesn't go. Rebounded by McCaughey. Unger coming back down the court for the Pipers. They'll try and kill some time here with 3:38 to go in the fourth.
Still in man. The Mennonite Brethren Hawks, John Taylor Pipers just going to run their man-to-man half-court offense. They like this half-court game. Got to look inside again to McCaughey and to Sinclair.
Unger to Kachu. Kachu driving in. He goes baseline. Shot doesn't go. He gets his own rebound. No, it's on the ground. Jump ball called. Pipers maintain possession.
Kachu almost had his own rebound, but it was Jeff Sinclair who he was fighting with. Jeff is just ruling the boards at either end of the court right now.
Kachu to inbound. Looks for Unger, and Unger wisely puts it off the leg of Fast, and it goes out of bounds.
What a great play by Brad Unger. Presence of mind. Everybody's a little bit worried here. It's going to be a turnover against the Pipers on a miscue on the out-of-bounds play. Great job by Brad.
As Unger goes in and scores, it's an 82-68 lead with less than 3 minutes to go in the fourth. And it's starting to be all Pipers here at the Bison East Gymnasium. Fast three-pointer, it goes short and out of bounds. John Taylor inbounds it.
Well, we got a situation right now, Sean, where I think with the Mennonite Brethren Hawks, they've given it a valiant effort. The only thing that's going to get them back into this game is the three-point shot. And right now, I'm afraid that their tank's on empty.
Fast with the ball, coming back down the court, 2:30 to go. Gets the ball to Van Dorp. Kicks it back out. Van Dorp is fouled. And if you're John Taylor, you don't want to foul at this point because it stops the clock and puts the Hawks on the line in the bonus situation.
That's exactly the problem, Sean. Coach Friesen is up and he's hot right now. There's no reason for Unger and Deneen to be, as we have a look right here, no reason for Unger and Deneen to be putting the pressure on that they are. Coach Friesen wants pressure on the ball, but he doesn't want his players to be silly. As you mentioned, Sean, we don't want to put somebody like Richard Van Dorp on the line with the clock stopped.
He hits the first. Hawks fans still believing their team can come back into it. They're down by 13 with 2:28 to go. Make the lead 12 as Van Dorp hits them both.
Those Hawk fans got a lot to believe. Oh, no!
It looked like a steal for Malcolm McNeil, but he's called in the foul. And I'd like to see that one again.
Oh, that's got Coach Apolko up. Malcolm McNeil, I think, an excellent job. Had a situation where we get the John Taylor Pipers just a little bit lackadaisical. They don't move to the ball. Oh, Malcolm McNeil, excellent job, son. I think you had a steal there.
12-point lead for the Pipers, 2:27 to go. Deneen at the line. Misses it in the bonus. Correction, it's a two-shot bonus because we're at 10 fouls.
Oh, that's huge.
Alan Friesen.
Sigh of relief from Coach Friesen.
We're not sure if he's going to make it through the night here. He's been up and down probably 12, 13 times already here in this quarter. And Deneen hits a second 13-point lead again for the Pipers. Fast coming back for the Hawks. He's got the ball. Gets it across to Visser. Looking for Pasteur underneath. He scores. No foul called there, and I thought McGahee got a piece of him.
Oh, McGahee got a big chunk of him. That would have put Pasteur at the line once again.
Unger kicks it outside to Deneen. Back to Unger. 1:52 to go in the fourth. Pipers with an 11-point lead, and they've got the ball handed off to Couture. He drives, gets it over to Sinclair. He's rejected by Van Dorp, but the Hawks can't come up with it. Pipers will maintain possession.
Oh, we got problems on that side. We look at this side of the gym, we've got relief, but on that far side, right behind Richard Couture, we got some unhappy people.
Pipers call timeout. 1:41 to go in the fourth. They lead at 83-72 from the Bison East Gymnasium. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any comments on this broadcast or any of our other programs on Video on Cable 11, we encourage you to call our viewer response line at 287-4567. Before we go into the timeout, we'd like to congratulate Canada's volleyball team for making the Atlanta Olympic Games. They had a big victory over the Dominican Republic today. Congratulations, Team Canada.
Got to make some shots, and then what we got to do is, as soon as we get the timeout, then we're gonna listen up. As soon as we get them, as soon as we score timeout, then we're gonna make it tough for them to throw it in. Okay? Remember, if I say go for the ball, that means what? Right, okay, but you got to make it look like a foul. Come on, guys, let's go. 1, 2.
Pipers will inbound the ball on the right side with 1:41 to go. They lead it by 11. You see some of the Piper fans dancing already. They're celebrating, but it's not over yet. Unger killing some time. Get some help from Couture. Again, Rod driving baseline, rebound by Sinclair, goes off the glass, doesn't go. Van Dorp comes up with the board. Gets it out to Fast. 1:16 to go in the fourth. Hawks are going to have to get some shots off here to try and get back in it.
Taking too long, Sean.
Van Dorp, two-pointer off the glass, doesn't go. Deneen with the rebound. Unger, baseball pass down to Kachu. Goes up with a fake off the glass and scores. Rod Kachu has played a wonderful game here for John Taylor.
Well, Sean is definitely a player that likes to play on television. I'll tell you, in our regional broadcast, he was the player of the game, and for me tonight, he's the player of the game again.
I agree with you there. He's played so well. We have a jump ball. Hawks get possession.
Rod Coutu has done an excellent job not to take anything away from Brad Unger or the rest of the Pipers, but it just seems that Rod really likes to play well on televised games, and he came up huge again tonight.
When Rod stepped up his game here in the fourth, it became all Pipers, and it looks like they're going to be the provincial champions. Van Dorp goes up from the baseline, doesn't go. Rebound taken by McGaughy.
Van Dorp just ice cold from the floor here in the fourth quarter.
Let's get a look at that last long pass by Unger.
Well, we had the defensive board by Deneen. Great baseball pass by Brad, and as we mentioned earlier in the telecast, we know that Rod Coutu is going to take it to the hole.
Timeout on the floor with 28 seconds to go. The score, the John Taylor Pipers 85, the Mennonite Brethren Collegiate Institute Hawks 72.
Well, we notice a lot of the Hawk faithful there, a little bit sad. They're going to come up short in this championship final game, but they had a heck of a run, Sean. Ended up starting this, of course, beating the number 10 ranked Crocus Plains Plainsmen, followed by an upset of the number 2 ranked Oak Park Raiders, and then beat the number 6 ranked Dakota Lancers in overtime here on Friday night.
Full credit to Kenapolko and his team. A great season for them. They've done very well. No one expected them to get this far, but they certainly have had a great year.
John Taylor Pipers on the other side of the coin, ranked number 1. We've seen how hard it is for a lot of the number 1 seeds to stay alive. Their number 1 seed that does stay alive, the number 2 and number 3 seeds were both upset in the regionals, and we've ended up here with an excellent job by both coaches, both coaching staffs, and the players. A great crowd, and once again, a great event brought to you by Video on Cable 11 Sports.
McGaughy at the line. Misses the second. Still a 13-point lead for the Pipers. The Hawks have got to try and get a shot off here soon.
Coach Opalko has cleared his bench, let some of his bench players get this provincial experience.
Unger with the steal. He comes back with 12 seconds to go, and he'll be content to kill some clock here. Kachu with the ball, drives baseline, goes reverse side. Rod Kachu.
Brad Unger is going to kill some time, but not Coutu. He's going to take it to the hole every second he gets. And the John Taylor Pipers are their 1996 boys provincial champions.
They take it by 15, 87-72 over MBCI here at the Bison East Gymnasium, and the fans flood onto the floor at the Bison East.
Great testimony here to the John Taylor Piper athletic program. As you mentioned, Sean, finalist in both volleyball and basketball last year. The boys come back to take care of unfinished business, and they do an excellent job. Full credit there to the program over at John Taylor. You get a look on there on your screen. 87-72 in favor of the John Taylor Pipers over the Mennonite Brethren Hawks. The final score here in the 1996 Varsity Boys Provincial Championships.
And just as well, the Hawks fans on their feet for their team, congratulating them for their efforts this year. They really put on some exciting basketball this season. Hats off to Kenapolko and his team.
That man right there in the middle of your screen has done an excellent job over at Mennonite Brethren.
I know he'll be disappointed with the result, but Ken had a great year and just a great example of basketball in both games here tonight, Laurie. The girls, an excellently played game on the part of both teams there, River East and Glen Lawn, and here, just great basketball in the boys championship.
Well, just the atmosphere and just the event itself, as we've mentioned, Sean, Manitoba High School athletics, we talk about it being the other half of education. I think what we need to do is we need to have more events like this. We need greater support from the grassroots level, pardon me. I'm talking parents, I'm talking school trustees, administrations. We've got to truly understand the great portion of life that high school athletics plays for these kids and the things that it teaches them, the life skills that it teaches them. And I think these are programs like these and events like these brought to you by Video on Cable 11 that have to gain more support.
It encourages positive behaviors by kids and keeps them out of trouble. It just does some wonderful things, and I tell you, the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association have done a great job. There's what it's all about: the trophy and the banners, and of course the medals and the all-star presentations. And once the teams shake hands here, we'll have the awards ceremony.
Well, what we have, Sean, is the end of another basketball season. We were here just a year ago doing this, and it seems like the time just flies. I don't know if the kids are getting faster or we're just getting older, but it just seems that we're out the door and then we're back doing another year-end wrap-up.
It could be both. You never know, Laurie. It could be both. Now let's go down to Scott Martin, who has the awards ceremony. Scott?
Van Dorp.
Van Dorp, the player of the game for the Mennonite Brethren Hawks.
And the player of the game from the John Taylor Pipers, number 32, Rod Couture.
Yes.
Fully deserving of the player of the game honors. Rod Couture played just a great game. It'd be interesting to see how many points he ended up with. He certainly wanted to add a couple more at the end there. He wasn't afraid to take it to the rack. Congratulations, Rod. Great tournament and a great year on your part. It's a volleyball basketball sweep.
We'd like to proceed with
for
the
John
awards
Taylor this year. They
presentation
take
for the
both boys championships.
4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships. We'd like to congratulate both teams on an exciting performance. Our presenters are Jane Edstrom, the past president of the MHSAA, and Carol Plain Hosgood, the Director of Community Relations from the Manitoba Milk Producers. Now could we please ask the captains of the MBCI Hawks to come up and accept the finalist banner. Next, I'd like to call up the members of the team to accept their second place medallions courtesy of the Seal Test Dairy Producers. From the MBCI Hawks, number 3, Chris Radke. Number 4, Michael Pasteur. Number 11, Ryan Visser. Number 12, Herb Weeb. Number 14, John Bowe. Number 15, Richard Van Dorp. Number 23, Nick Davis. Number 24, Andrew Fast. Number 32, Evan Weeb. Number 33, Malcolm McNeil. Coaches, Ken Opalco and Coach Peters. Managers, Cheryl Possumus and Teresa Baumhoff. And now we'd ask the captains of the champion John Taylor Pipers to come accept the MHSAA Championship Trophy and banner. Each member of the team will receive championship medallions courtesy of Seal Test Dairy Producers and a championship t-shirt courtesy of Manitoba Milk Producers. From the John Taylor Pipers, number 12, J.C. Sawicki. Number 14, Greg Robinson. Number 20, Mike Kusi. Number 21, Tom Hamady. Number 22, Trevor Deneen. Number 23, Brad Arsenault. Number 24, Brad Unger. Number 25, Jeff Sinclair. Number 31, Chris Buzinis. Number 32, Rod Coutu. Number 33, Adam Burns. And the big man, number 34, Dale Makaki. Coaches, Graham Fraser, James Ford, and none other than Al Friesen. The Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association would like to acknowledge this year's 4A High School All-Star team. Each All-Star will receive an MHSAA Cantel All-Star plaque and Converse t-shirts. The All-Stars will be presented by Elliot Unger of the University of Manitoba Bisons and a first-team GPAC All-Star. The All-Stars from Dakota Collegiate, Riley Campbell. From the MBCI Hawks, Andrew Fast. From the John Taylor Pipers, Rod Coutu. Also from the John Taylor Pipers, Jeff Sinclair. And the fifth All-Star from the MBCI Hawks, Richard Van Dorp. This year's most valuable player will receive the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association MVP plaque and MVP shoes, courtesy of Converse. Presenting the award is Mr. Kevin Chief from the University of Winnipeg-Westman, former high school MVP and a GPAC All-Star. This year's 1996 4A Provincial High School Basketball Most Valuable Player, Brad Unger. hopefully we'll see you all at next year's high school championships. Drive home carefully.
We'll be back in just a moment with a wrap on this evening's activities on Videon Cable 11 Sports.
That's great. Standing with me is the winning coach, Al Friesen, in Rock 2. Al, what can you do? What can you say?
This is the greatest bunch of kids I coached in 20 years of coaching. They just work and listen and listen. It's been a pleasure.
You're losing 8 of them. What's going to happen?
We'll work real hard and we'll see if we can come back here. We're getting a bunch of good kids in next year, so we'll see.
Well, you have a great core to work with with the younger players. Let's hope you can do just as well next year. On the other side with me, Rod, how come you always play so good when we have the TV on?
It's not the TV, it's just the team, actually. We practice hard, so the way we practice is the way we play in the games. So a lot of heart into it, hard work. And we play as a team, we all like each other, and we just play.
It's a great way to, well, you're graduating, right? It's a great way to leave the school with this great win. You were also on the volleyball team, correct?
Yeah. It's volleyball, yeah.
Yeah,
volleyball.
So you got 2 of them.
Yeah. You know, what can I say? Hard work. We love it.
Are you going to have to build a new display case for all your awards?
Not really. I just put them in my, no. I'll just put them with the rest of them, I guess. Not very many.
just a shoebox, eh?
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Congratulations, guys. Let's go back up to Sean and Lori.
Thank you very much, Bob, and congratulations to Rod Couture, Alan Friesen, and the rest of the John Taylor Pipers. They are the champions of the Provincial 4A Boys Basketball Championships.
Well, Sean, we get a look at the aftermath here. We've got the nets being cut down. I'd just like to take this opportunity for first of all, to thank you for giving me an opportunity to work with you again this year, and also to thank Videon Cable 11 for the opportunity for me to sit up here and abuse you.
Well, thank you. I think the pleasure is all mine. No, it's a pleasure working with you, Lori, and it's a pleasure doing this work for Videon Cable 11. We encourage you to keep watching Videon Cable 11 Sports. We've got a lot more coming up throughout the spring and summer, and of course, it all starts again next year. So on behalf of Bob Baker, Lori May, and myself, Sean Coates, and the rest of the Videon Cable 11 Sports broadcasting crew, we'd like to thank you for watching this event.